What is up, everyone? Welcome back to another video today, and in this video we're going to be taking a look at the NG Models August 2023 releases. The record breakers are back, and they are back with a vengeance, because the set that NG has announced for August is pretty freaking massive. Like, we're talking 47 models total, and that is just beyond ridiculous. But let's go ahead and take a look at the hints, because we got a lot to cover here. So we have 5 A319s, 5 A320s, 3 A321s, 6 A330-300s, 2 A350s, 2 737-600s, multiple 737-800s. I am currently counting a total of 8 in this set. We have 4 737 MAXs, 1 747 SP, 1 757-200. There's actually a second one, but for some reason that got knocked out of order there. So there's 2 SPs in this release, 4 787s, 1 Comex C919, 3 TriStars, and 1 Tupolev Tu-154. Good lord, this is going to be a massive set, so please bear with me in this video. This is likely going to take me quite a while to go through, but I'll try to make everything as quick as possible so that this video is a little bit shorter and it doesn't extend out to like 20 minutes or something. But here we go. So the hints were announced yesterday, Monday, August 7th, and then announced today, Tuesday, August 8th. And let's take a look. Our first release that we have here is the Alaska More to Love 737-900, and you see on the top there, it says exclusive for members of ngmodels.com, so they have their collector reward plan, like Exchange Mall is what they call it, where basically you can redeem the points that you have collected from the collector cards that you get with the newer NG releases. You can redeem those for various airplanes that they have, various models they have in their stock, which last month it was a lot of like overstock stuff, but it looks like this month they have made some exclusives that you can use to redeem them. Our second exclusive that we have here is a Corsair 747 SP. This is with a, I believe that's a Luxembourg registration, which is a bit interesting. And then we have a bit of a different item number in here. This is an SR002, China Eastern Airlines 737-800 with orange colors. For some reason, there's an image here. It's just an all-orange background, so I don't know what they got going on here with this. There is no registration, there's no nothing, so I can only assume that this is a fantasy model that they're doing here in this case, which, for something like this, I don't really mind them doing fantasies. It's just if it's part of the regular release, and that's when, you know, some people could take issue to it. Got a Garuda Indonesia A330-300, another exclusive for members of ngmodels.com. This is the mask on colors. And we also have another Garuda Indonesia one. This is the wonderful Indonesia sticker. You see it there just behind the L1 door. And then our last exclusive for members of ngmodels.com model, we have this Sichuan Airlines Tu-154M. This is with a dark colored nose cone. All right, now we are finally on to our regular releases, so let's take a look here. We have an Austrian 737-600. I did not know that they operated these things, so I guess that's one more release that NG can do. And we do have another one here as well. I believe the only difference between the two of them is just the different registration. So the first one is November Lima, and then the second one is November Mike. And I believe, yeah, for some reason we have 2 of these China Eastern 737s with orange colors. I don't know what the orange livery is supposed to look like, so I'm going to have to wait for photos to really judge that one, or not necessarily judge it, but just to kind of get an assessment done on it, a rough assessment. We have a Tway 737-800 with the MasterCard livery. That does not look like anything like MasterCard, at least to my knowledge. Unless if it's just some different branding that they have over there. But yeah, okay, now I see there's a little MasterCard logo just below like the cartoon birds. I don't know how to describe them necessarily because I've never seen that before. And then we have a second one here as well, just with a different registration. And then we have a regular Tway 737-800. So at the very least, because NG is known to do a lot of specials, if they're going to do that, at least offer the regular livery to go with it. And in this case here, that is what they did. We have a Shanghai Airlines 737-800, a bit of a new Asian airline to NG's palette. Haven't seen them do that before, at least to my recollection. We got a couple Flair aircraft here. We have the 738. This one is named WJ Bill Hardy, and it has a dark nose cone. You see it there, which is actually the standard livery, so just disregard that previous statement. We have another one right here. This is a different name named JN Jim Rogers. And what in the world is this? I don't think that this is an actual livery. I do not believe that this is an actual livery, so I'm going to... Yeah, November 8888 Quebec. That does not sound like an actual Southwest MAX registration. So let me take a look here. Yeah, this is not an actual registration, or at least one that's active right now, so this looks like to me that this is a fantasy livery. Now, if I recall correctly, I think somebody did suggest this to NG. Whether or not this is like a joke or something, I have no idea, but it looks like NG actually did this, which is quite interesting. So I honestly have no idea what to say about this. This is like the craziest release that I've seen to date from NG. This is something completely new. I did not think that they would do something like that. Again, I have no idea if that suggestion that was done, I forget who it was exactly, if it was done as like a joke or something, or if this was, something that they actually wanted to see, a Southwest Max with a pink livery instead of the standard blue one. I don't know what they've got going on with that. And we do have a regular livery Southwest Max in this release, so this is good to see. At least they have that going with this fantasy pink livery that they did. They call it Pink One, so at the very least, I'm not going to sit here and complain about that Pink One livery. All I'm going to say is that that's a very interesting release choice, and perhaps it may interest some people, and just, like a fantasy plane that they want to have, because, it's a pink plane and all that. I don't know, but I'll have to see what it looks like when the photos come out. All right, continuing on, we have a couple more Maxes. We got a Lion Air 737 MAX 9. They title it as a 737-9 for obvious reasons. And it looks like we do have a couple. We have a Thai Lion Air one up next, so this is the difference between the two. That one has the full 737 MAX titles if you look at the rear of the aircraft, just above the passenger windows. And then we have this Iceland Air 757-200. This is with the all-white livery with the black tail. A bit of an interesting choice here, but I think this is like a modified version of the new Iceland Air livery. So this doesn't have the colored band up at the front of the tail like on the Maxes. We have an Air China 747 SP, a regular livery, so good to see that instead of the CAAC that they've done about 2 or 3 times now. Then we have a Zip Air 787-8, and I believe they have a couple destinations here in the U.S. I think they fly to like L.A., maybe San Francisco. I can't remember exactly, but they have a couple destinations here in the States. And then we have another one up here. This one has a sticker towards the back. Love for Tomorrow is the name. And then we've got some military A319s up in here. So this is from from China, it looks like, and these are all the same. So I'm just going to go ahead and rapid fire the 3 that they have here. Just the different registrations that they have: 4090, 4091, and 4092. We have a Spirit A319 in the current livery. Now, with the ongoing debate about the Spirit JetBlue merger, I don't know if this is going to last any longer. I think in the fall they're going to officially decide on that, whether or not that's illegal. So there's a whole bunch of legal hurdles that they have to go through with that right now. So I don't know. Then we have a Spirit A320 Neo. I already have one of these, and it looks like I kind of wish that they did one with the cockpit mask, because I know Gemini's got that as a future release, so I wish NG would have likely done that instead, but the ones without the cockpit masks are still fairly common. We have an Aegean A320 Neo up next. Both of them are the regular liveries, but we have different registrations. The first one is November Echo Charlie, and then the second one is Delta November Bravo. I don't know if I said the airline name right. I keep forgetting how to pronounce that, so I apologize in advance. We have a couple of Lufthansa aircraft, a Lufthansa A320 Neo. The first one is a regular livery, and then we have a Lufthansa livery to go with that up next. And then continuing on, we have an Airbus A321 Neo with the house livery, or at least one of the variations of it. All this has is just the Airbus A321 titles, a little bit of detail there on the wings, on the winglet, and then the Neo tail band there on the tail. And then we have a Sichuan Airlines A330-300 freighter. I think this is the first A333 freighter that NG has done, but somebody correct me if I'm wrong on that. We have an ANA Lockheed TriStar, and I think I remember seeing this a little while ago, because I know NG announced a bunch of future releases as well, so I'll go ahead and take a look at those here if there are any listed on the website once I'm done looking through this. We have a couple of Pan Am TriStars. They have just released one here, or at least the photos came out of it finally, because it's been delayed for so many months. The first one that we have here is named Clipper Flying Eagle, and then the other one is named Clipper George T. Baker. Then we have a China Eastern Comex C919 that comes with a stand per the remarks. And then right over here, we have, this is the Airliners International exclusive. So they are actually releasing this now as a full release. This is a JetBlue Airbus A321 with the R200th aircraft sticker. So this was an exclusive at the Airliners International 2023 convention in Dallas. I think it was West Coast Diecast that was selling them at their table. So they had, I think, like 30 or 40 pieces of that in stock, and I think all but one sold by the final day, if I remember correctly. But it looks like here that they are doing a full release with it now, as the Airliners convention has since passed. We have a Riyadh Air 787-9. This still has the Boeing test registration, because I think when this goes into service, this is going to have a much different registration. We have the new JetBlue livery A321 as a regular release. This is our full release for that. And then our final release, I finally got through all of this. This took me quite a while. We have an ANA 787-9 with the Pokemon livery, the Pikachu Jet, as they call it. And then we have a couple future releases, so I'll just quickly scan through them here. It doesn't look like anything too exciting. We still have the two 748s in there from Atlas Air, the last one built, and the BOAC Fantasy. A couple new ones in here. We have a Millionaire Gulfstream G550. That's very interesting. And then also another new addition since I last did a release video is this Etihad 787-9 with the Tom Cruise Mission Impossible colors. And that is everything with this release. Goodness me. Okay. I think I just need to try to break this down one by one here, because having all this stuff, it's just overwhelming for me to look at all at once. So we have a lot of NG exclusives here for their exchange mall, I would assume, which is the CRP thing that they open up for like a week or so, where you can exchange your points that you get from the cards for these free models. So you select like a retailer that you order from frequently, they send it to the retailer, and then the retailer sends it to you. So it's a pretty good concept. I haven't tried this out yet, and I still have a bunch of cards that I have yet to use, but I'm going to wait to accumulate more until I do it. So I don't know if these cards are going to expire at any point in time. I don't think they would, but we'll have to see. And then just scrolling on down here, I mean, again, a very diverse release set, but that's a given when you're doing over 40 planes, and even like some of these fantasy ones, like, you know, look at the China Eastern orange colors. That's a very interesting one. And that Southwest pink one, like, you know, that's a very, very interesting release. I didn't think NG would actually do something like that, but hey, to each their own. And then just continuing on down here, plenty of diversity again. Lots of Asian releases, European releases, American releases. I don't think we had anything from Africa. There's a Middle East one in there, if I'm not mistaken. But I mean, yeah, this is just, you know, this is a typical NG release set. We got a lot of diversity, but a lot of models to go over. And in fact, I'm going to quickly count everything up here. We have 43 planes in this set in total, so slightly less than what they had for the hints at 47, but I'm guessing there are a few that may have gotten delayed, so they didn't start production on those, and those will likely come later. Now, speaking of delays, because I know this is going to be a pretty big thing, do not be surprised if at least half this set is delayed into next month and beyond, because having 43 planes in this release set total, I still don't think NG has enough manpower to produce all of this in one go without having delays come up or some issues in production coming up that they have to take a look at and then fix, so that they send out perfectly good models as opposed to just rushing them and then sending them all out together as is, which is definitely not the way to go. So I understand the delays, but doing these large releases isn't really helping NG's cause of trying to prevent them, if that's what they're trying to do here, because having this large release set, I can just almost guarantee that there's going to be delays with this. So don't be surprised if you do encounter delays with a particular model that you've pre-ordered. So, you know, my advice would just to be a little hesitant on pre-ordering. You don't necessarily have to not pre-order at all. If you want to pre-order, then feel free to do so, but just be prepared for delays, because I do anticipate that there's going to be quite a few delays coming out of this release set once all the productions are done for all the models that are going to be sent out on time, and then they'll reassess and see what models are delayed so that they can work on those, and then I'm sure they'll announce another 30 to 40 model batch, and then we're going to have more delays. So I at least hope that's not what they're going to do, is to continue to announce these big sets if they're going to continue having delays. So that's, again, just my perspective on this, and hopefully we don't see any major delays, but I'm unfortunately expecting that we're going to see some, but I hope that the delays aren't anything major, like, you know, they're going to go on for like 3 to 6 months or even longer, like with the Peter Max and AA Chrome 777s. Those are two models I've really wanted for a while, and they finally just got photos released of those, so they're sending them out to retailers, and I'm likely going to order them here very soon. So, finally, I'm done with this video. So, with that being said, thanks for watching, and I will catch you in the next video.